What's going on, Facebook friends? It's Rafi here, and I wanted to jump online today to share something really crazy that I'm actually doing right now. And I've been doing this for the last couple of days, as a matter of fact. So I am actually doing a 72-hour fast. Yep, you heard that right. 3 full days of no food at all. So before you click off this video because you think I'm just going crazy at this point, right? Like this dude is turning into a monk or something like that. Spend the next 2 minutes listening to what I have to say, and you can make your judgment from there. Because this has really been, honestly, one of the most interesting things I have done for my body recently. And the science behind it is also well researched and well documented and also pretty crazy. So here's the deal. The last time I actually ate was Friday night at, I think, 11 p.m. Last time I ate. And currently, as you know, as I'm making this video, it is Sunday, and at this exact moment, it is 10:42 a.m. So I've been basically fasting for 36 hours so far. Before this, the longest I've ever fasted was maybe about 16 or 18 hours max, because I've been doing intermittent fasting on and off for a few months, and so I've never really crossed the 18-hour period to know what happens next. So, what does this mean? Well, obviously, I've skipped breakfast, I've skipped lunch, so that's a big deal, just skipping multiple meals for multiple days. But what's really been fascinating is what I've really learned about what happens to your body during an extended fast of this type. Honestly speaking, most of us, and that includes me as well, we're used to eating all the time, like every 3-4 hours. We eat breakfast, we eat snacks, we eat lunch, we eat coffee with cream in it, we eat dinner, we eat desserts. We are basically running our digestive system 24/7. But when you fast for real, like not just skipping a meal, but actually stopping for 36, 48, or even 72 hours, your body does something extremely incredible. And let me break it down for you in very, very simple and basic terms. So the first thing you have to understand is that your body basically has 2 modes. There's the fed state, where you're fed, you're eating, you're digesting, and your body is basically focused on breaking down food, storing fat, regulating blood sugar, and dealing with insulin spikes. And then there's the second state, which is the fasted state. And this is when your body is basically going like, okay, there's no food coming in. Now it's time to tap into reserves. Let's clean the house. Let's repair what's broken. And that's when your biology sort of like goes into beast mode, you could say. So what exactly starts happening around that 36 to 48 hours? Well, the first thing that happens is that your body starts to actually switch its source of fuel. You're burning through all of your stored sugar, which is also known as glycogens. Your body starts running on fat at that point. Literally, like stored body fat at that point becomes your source of fuel. And not just that, your liver turns fat into something called ketones, which are kind of like, think of them like high octane fuel for your brain. So ketones are usually going to be a source of fuel that's going to be way cleaner than sugar. So instead of brain fog, you actually start feeling sharper and more focused. The second thing that happens is that your insulin levels actually start to drop really hard. And this is huge. High insulin levels actually block fat burning and contribute to inflammation. But during a fast, insulin levels hit rock bottom, which help to reset your metabolic health and improve insulin sensitivity. And that's key for weight loss and for avoiding type 2 diabetes long term. The third thing that actually happens during this process as well, during this 36 to 48 hour window of your fasting, is something called autophagy. And this word, when I first heard it, first of all, I had a hard time understanding how to even pronounce this word. Is it autophagy, autophagy, autophagy? Doesn't matter how you pronounce it, however way you want to pronounce it. I just say autophagy. Autophagy is basically like your body's janitorial crew. When you fast, your body starts recycling damaged cells, broken proteins, any kind of junk basically that's been sitting around clogging up your system. So think of it kind of like deleting 10,000 junk files off your computer and finally doing like a system update. Kind of like when you use, CC cleaner or disk defragmenting, something like that. So this process is, it was actually part of a 2016 Nobel Prize in medicine. There's a Japanese scientist by the name Yoshinori Osumi, who discovered how this process works and how important this is for longevity. So the fourth thing that happens during this window is your human growth hormone, which is also known as HGH, just skyrockets. And this was a big surprise because human growth hormone can go up by 4 or 5 times during a fast. And what that does is it helps you to preserve muscle, as a matter of fact. It helps you to boost recovery. And it basically helps to prep your body to rebuild stronger after the fast actually ends. So it's not really about losing muscle. It's about healing muscle, healing your body, and rebuilding your muscles. So during this time, also your inflammation drops, and fasting helps lower inflammation markers across the board, which means lower risk of chronic diseases, better joint pain, better skin, and even better mental clarity. The sixth thing that I would like to discuss that happens during this process is your stem cells actually start activating. So if you go past the 48 to 72 hours, your body starts actually regenerating immune cells. It starts regenerating your gut lining and several more processes that are similar to that. It's kind of like a full body reset switch, you could say. So, if you're wondering like why is Rafi doing this? What's the point? Well, I'm doing it because I want to challenge myself, first of all. I want to reset my body. I want to see what happens when I stop eating for a couple of days and just let my body, do its thing and go without interruption. So I'm still drinking water. I'm drinking green tea, as you can see. Unsweet green tea with only 5 calories in it. So mostly not, negligible. As long as you're not going over 20 calories, I think the fast is still on. I'm also drinking lots of water, and I did add some salt to this water as well for some electrolytes. I'm doing black coffee, and I'm making sure to take in those electrolytes and salt, magnesium and potassium. You've got to keep those things going so that you can stay energized and don't pass out or something like that. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I feel really good. As you can see, I'm making this video fully coherent, and I feel much better than I thought I would, honestly. And do I feel hungry? Yes, there's hunger here and there, but it goes away, it passes. Especially once you go past the 36-hour mark, you'll notice the hunger really starts to dip at that point. And so what replaces it is this weird sense of like clarity and energy, really. There's one more thing I want to say. This is not medical advice. I'm not saying everybody out there should do a 3-day fast. You've got to listen to your body, not just my body and what I'm doing, your body. You have to talk to your doctor if you feel like you need it and work your way up to it. I've already been doing some intermittent fasting, so this is just kind of like a leap for me, yeah, to some extent, but it is something my body's already used to. That's something that I'm used to as well already. But before you jump into something like this, make sure that you properly train. Maybe start with some shorter fasts, and you work your way up to a complete 72-hour 3-day fast like this. But if you're really curious about how to lose stubborn fat, especially visceral fat like in this belly area, reset your metabolism, clean out your cells, and feel sharper mentally, fasting is definitely something that you should consider, for sure. At least learn about it. Some experts that I would recommend that you look into are people like Dr. Jason Fung, who is the author of The Complete Guide to Fasting. You can obviously follow someone like Dr. Peter Attia, who wrote a very popular book called Outlive, where he basically looked at a lot of these centenarians and tried to identify what do these people actually have in common, what do they eat, what's their lifestyle like, how do they behave, etc. And he documented all of those research in his book. And there's also Dr. Rhonda Patrick, really good work to look into. And look up the 2016 Nobel Prize on Autophagy. And you'll quickly realize that this isn't some new TikTok trend that we're talking about here. It is, biology that we have forgotten, basically. And if you think about it, it's really how our bodies have been designed to be for tens of thousands of years. We haven't had a scenario throughout history where we have had food all the time. We would hunt something or we would eat something and we would have to go for a day or so, or maybe 2 days sometimes, maybe even 3 days without getting our next meal. And so our bodies are designed to have that little bit of rest in between, and it uses that resting period to repair itself. Just like if you're constantly working 24/7, you don't have time to take out the trash, clean your kitchen, change out the, light bulbs in your house, all these different activities. But then you take that one Sunday off to not work and you focus on all these things, you feel refreshed. You feel like you got a lot of cleanup done. You've gotten rid of a lot of junk out of your house. It's the same thing. Our bodies are designed to have that rest, that period of rest when we can repair it, when it can repair itself and get rid of all these toxins and all these junk that really accumulates at the cellular and functional level. So, I'll keep you guys updated. I'm gonna probably make another video at the end of the fast. I'm pretty soon gonna be hitting my 48-hour mark and eventually the 72-hour mark as well. So, I'll just keep monitoring myself and see what happens. So that's it from my side. It's Rafi signing out from Memphis, Tennessee.